And for me personally, I was so depressed for like the first 2 or 3 weeks. And then one day I woke up and I said, I'm not crying anymore. I've cried enough about this. It's time for me to get up and go and figure out what to do with my life. Hey, welcome to another episode of Fire Podcast, where we share stories of female property investors of today to inspire and empower investors of tomorrow. My name is Cynthia and I am your host. So happy New Year to you all. It's 2024. How is it even 2024 already? Feels like just yesterday we just went past 2020 and we're already in 2024. In today's episode of Fire, we will be discussing the powerful mindset shifts that is necessary for success. These mindset shifts will help to reshape your entire reality. And we all know like the first step to changing your life or even, succeeding at anything really is to have a mindset shift. So join me today as we discuss 6 mindset shifts that will set you on the path of success in 2024. The very first mindset shift that we will be discussing today is seeing money as a tool. So it's important for you to understand that money is just a tool, not a goal that you're striving to get to. It's a tool to help you get to where you need to get to in life. So instead of chasing money, think of ways that you can attract money to yourself. Okay, remember, it's just a tool, it's not a goal. So some ways that you can attract money to yourself is by adding value to other people's lives. Find something that you're passionate about. Find something that you're, you've got really good knowledge about or good understanding, something that you're well experienced in. And just think of a way to use that and create value in other people's lives or add value in other people's lives. So this year, instead of thinking, where am I going to make more money? How am I going to do this? How am I going to be able to afford this? I can't afford this and stuff like that. You have to be thinking, how can I use money as a tool to create the life that I desire or the life that I deserve? How can I use money as a tool to take me to the next place? A lot of us, we are basically slaves to money. I used to once be a slave to money. I'll do basically whatever I have to do just to make a little extra pound here and there, right? But that's so detrimental to our health and our well-being, because the more you chase money, in fact, the more you chase anything really, the more it runs away from you. So you have to stop trying to always be on to the next thing, to just try and make money. When you remove your focus from just trying to make money, you would find that you start, thinking about other things like, how can you add value? How can you help people out? What products or services can you offer to make someone else's life easier or better? And that way you find that you start to attract more money into your life. Another mindset shift that you really need to be, applying this year is to focus on solutions and not on problems. So too many times, too many of us just want to dwell on the problems. We want to dwell on all the negative things that life has brought our ways. We just want to be like, oh yeah, life is not working out for me because of this. Oh, I can't do this because of that. Many of us are all problem focused, but instead of focusing on the problem and, seeing 1,010 reasons why you can't do something or why you can't achieve a certain goal. So instead of dwelling on the problem, how about you think about ways around that problem? What lesson can you learn from that problem? What sort of solutions can come out of there? How can you use that problem or that challenge to better yourself? I personally have tried my best to just get rid of the word problem in my vocabulary. Every time that I am faced with an issue, I just see it as an opportunity to learn, an opportunity to grow, and an opportunity to develop my skills. Because when I'm faced with a challenge, I'm like, okay, cool, this is here now. I don't just want to hear, oh, this is going bad, that's going bad, this is what. I don't dwell on all those things. I want to find out, what are we going to do to get over this situation, right? Recently I had a builder who basically scammed me and, disappeared with my money. Instead of dwelling on the fact that, hey, listen, I've been scammed, this project is now, 100 months behind schedule, way over budget and all of that. Instead of dwelling on all of that, my mindset was, okay, cool, this has happened. There's nothing I can do right now to change what's happened and the problem that I'm facing or the challenge that I'm facing right now. What is it that I can control right now in this situation? And it's just how I can move forward from that. So instead of dwelling on that problem, I'm focusing on the solution. So what can we do to finish up this project? Fine, hire more people, do some DIY myself if that's what I have to do. Like, just think of how to get to where you need to get to and stop dwelling on the things that are holding you back. And once you have that mindset shift, you would realize that, like, you don't even have time to sit down and, be depressed about sad things that has happened to you in life. Because guess what? Every one of us, we're all going to go through some, challenging times in life. And it's all about how you want to handle that, or how you want that time in your life to affect you. Do you want to be held down and be depressed forever by that? Or are you going to rise above it and keep moving and literally have your eyes on your goal and just keep moving? Don't stop until you hit your target. As Albert Einstein said, we can't solve our problems by thinking the same way we were thinking when we got into those problems. So one great opportunity or one great thing about having problems or challenges in your life is that it forces you to reshape the way that you think, because you have to now come out of that problem mindset and start thinking of solution. So the third one is to get rid of limiting beliefs. So a lot of us have one or more limiting beliefs about ourselves, things that hold us back. And sometimes these limiting beliefs, they're not necessarily from what we've experienced or what we know of ourselves. Sometimes they're beliefs that have been put in our heads, even from when we were kids, by our parents, friends, loved ones, like, oh, you're completely useless at this, or you're this, or you can't ever get anything right, or you can't do all of this. And when we constantly hear all of those things, we start to grow believing those things. So one of the limiting beliefs that I always had right from when I was a little baby, like literally right from when I was a child, my mom said to me, do you know what? You're always late. You've always been late from the day you were born, because I arrived like 10 or 12 days later than my due date. So because of that, I'm a late comer. And guess what? I've grown up my entire life believing that I'm a late comer. So when you've invited me for something or I've got something to do, in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm going to be late. I'm going to be late. But then again, I'm not always late. I've never missed a flight because I was late. Job interviews, schools, and anything important that I have to attend to, I always get there on time. But I sometimes, kind of play into that limiting belief that, oh, do you know what? Especially when it's something that's not too important, like a party or something, I'll be like, oh, do you know what? Everyone knows I'm always late anyway, so I'm going to take my time and I'm going to be late. And that limits me in terms of, like, I could be on time if I, put steps in place. Yeah, maybe I might be a little bit late, but if I put steps in place to actively say, okay, do you know what? Today, I'm not going to be late. I won't be late. And that's how it is with any other sort of limiting belief. Another one that I have as well is the fact that I always felt like I couldn't really talk properly. I've always had an issue with my speech. I don't know what it is, but growing up, I never even knew I had something called dyspraxia, which is a learning disability. And I just always know that people used to say to me, oh, Cynthia, you can't say anything right. Like, every time you open your mouth to say something, it could be something as simple as good morning. I might just want to say good morning to you. And I know it's morning. I can see that the sun has just risen. I know it's morning and I want to say good morning to you, but then I'll say good evening or something. And my brain will just sort of mix up what I want to say. So I know exactly what I want to say, but sometimes, just bringing it out into words, I can't articulate my words properly. So that has always limited me. And I used to be so quiet as a child and, like a young adult. I used to be so quiet because I have a lot of things to say, but I'm so scared of saying things and having it come out the wrong way and being, made fun of or laughed at or whatever. So I would rather just be quiet and sit in my little corner until I actually also started actively taking steps to get rid of that, get over that limiting belief. So yeah, just having that belief has limited me from doing a lot of things that I wanted to do. Like, I remember when I was at uni, I wanted to do some presentations to inspire young people, to get an education, have a career, have goals set for themselves. But I couldn't. I literally backed out of that presentation because I just felt like, no, there's no way I'm doing this. I can't talk. I don't know how to talk properly. And I just backed out from that. And it's all about identifying your limiting beliefs, because we all have some, right? Whether or not it's, taking risks, you feel like you can't make eye contact. It can be anything really. You can feel like you're not good enough, you're not tall enough, you're not short enough, you're not anything enough. But it's all about identifying what that belief is that is holding you back from your goals, from achieving success in the things that you want to achieve success in. You need to identify what those limiting beliefs are and start actively putting steps to discard them, to get rid of them for good, because no one wants, anything holding us back. In 2024, nothing is holding us back this year, okay? We're getting rid of all the limiting beliefs. It's gone with 2023. This is a new year. And, this year, the only beliefs we want to have is positive affirmations, things that inspire us, things that drive us, and things that push us. And that's also one way to actually get rid of your limiting beliefs, is by positively affirming to yourself every day things that are inspiring. So you say to yourself, yeah, I'm capable of this. I can do this. Yes, I can talk. Right now I'm talking. So yes, I can talk. I can do it. Whatever it is that's limiting you, just constantly wake up every morning and make a constant effort and a conscious decision to say to yourself, I am worthy of whatever it is. I can do it. I am worthy of success. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of a healthy relationship. I am worthy of whatever it is that you're trying to achieve this year. Just believe that you're worthy of it and that you're capable of achieving that thing that you want. And you will see how your life will change and you will start attracting those things to yourself. Because one thing is, once we make a conscious decision that, we are ready to do this and we are able to do this, and no matter what, we're not taking no for an answer. No matter what, we will achieve that goal. The universe and God will start putting things in place for you to help you get to where you need to be. But all you need to do is start with your mindset, believe that you can and you will. No wonder Henry Ford's quote says that whether you think you can or you can't, either way, you're right. Because when you think you can, you have within yourself the capabilities to achieve that thing. You somehow find the strength. Somehow the universe and God will bring the resources or the right people that you need to help you achieve that goal. However, if you believe or think that you can't, guess what now? You're just going to sit at home and you're not going to do anything, because guess what? You can't do it. And that's right. You're not going to be able to do it. So because you don't believe you can do it, so you're not going to be able to do it. And it's literally as simple as that. So we need to be very, very mindful of the thoughts that linger in our head. Make sure you don't have any negative thoughts of yourself, any limiting beliefs. All we want is positive affirmations. Just, I am this. I'm beautiful enough. I'm strong enough. I'm bold enough. I'm confident enough. Whatever it is, every single day, at least write down or say to yourself 5 positive words to yourself every single day, and watch how that transforms your life. Another mindset shift that's important for success is to develop an abundance mindset or adopt an abundance mindset. As humans, many of us, we are basically automatically wired to think scarcity, right? Oh, I'm not gonna go out there because there's not enough opportunities for all of us. Or I'm not gonna do this because there's not enough opportunities for us. I'm not gonna share my secrets because there's not enough opportunities. If I share my secrets, someone might steal my idea or steal the things that I'm doing that are helping me succeed. And and now there's not gonna be enough opportunities for me to excel in that field. And all of that is just like a wrong way to look at life. It's a negative way to look at life. I know a lot of us, we've all heard this term saying opportunity comes but once. That is a big fat lie, right? Because there's so many opportunities. Literally every day you're faced with more opportunities to achieve the things that you want to achieve. You just need to be able to identify an opportunity when it presents yourself. There's billions of people in this world and millions of opportunities out there for everybody. Okay, so we can't be thinking, oh, I can't, I won't, because there's not enough. There's more than enough to go around. And this is why I share my experience when it comes to property investment. I share my story. I share the things that have worked for me. And I know a lot of people don't like to share the things that have worked for them, because like what I just said earlier on, they don't want people to either steal their idea or limit the opportunities that they have in that field. But with me personally, I don't mind. I know there's going to be so much more opportunities. There's the market is big enough for everyone to get on it, right? So there's no reason for me to be, hiding all my secrets and all my experience and all the knowledge that I've learned, because the more you share, the more you bless people with your knowledge, with your experience, the more you share your success with people, the more you inspire others to be successful, the more you help other people to be successful, and the greater your own personal success is as well. So that's one thing that we need to bear in mind, because the truth is a scarcity mindset basically limits us from achieving our goals, right? And what is a scarcity mindset? Basically, just like the name says, it's thinking that there isn't enough for everybody, there isn't enough opportunities. So you want to hold on really tight to the things that you have. And an abundance mindset, on the other hand, means that, you believe that there's more than enough, there's plenty for everyone. And that's the simple truth. There is more than enough. And some of the ways that you can, shift your mindset from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset is, number one, focusing on the things that you have and the things that you're good at. Let's say, for example, you want to make a career change, or you want to start a new business or something. Instead of thinking, oh, I don't know anything about this, or I've not even worked today in this career or in this job role, and there's so many people that have 15 years experience and I don't have anything. And just instead of thinking of all these limiting thoughts like, oh, who am I kidding? I'm never going to be able to land that job. I'm never going to succeed at this business. I'm never going to, get good at this. You have to focus on the things that you have. Don't worry about the things that you don't have, because you're not going to change the fact that you don't have 15 years experience in that career or in that business. You're not going to change the fact that you don't have this skill or that skill just by sitting down and thinking about it. Instead, think of the things that you have and the things that you can change. Worry about the things that you can change. Like if it's a particular skill set that you need for a particular job or a career change, why don't you go and find someone or find somewhere to learn those skill sets and then use that to apply for the job? How about you focus on the experiences that you have? You must have been doing something, and there must be something that you're good at. It could even just be something like, let's say, digital marketing. You've been digital marketing for the past, 5 years or something like that, and you have that experience. Find the transferable skills in that experience and use it to apply to your new role that you're looking to go into, or even the new business that you're looking to get into. Because trust me, right now we live in a society where like there's loads of transferable skills. I don't care, even if you're a cleaner and you're trying to become a CEO of a company, there are skills that you can bring from that experience and implement that in your new role that will help you succeed. So just focus on the things that you have to be able to shift your mind from scarcity to abundance. Another way is to also surround yourself with positive minded people who also have the abundance mindset. Okay, you don't want to be trying to get into the abundance mindset and you're surrounded with negative people who just oh yeah, why are you talking about that? You should never talk about that because people are gonna steal your ideas. There's not enough. Like, you don't want to be surrounding yourself with negative people. I personally cannot deal with negativity. If you're a negative person, you probably only ever speak to me once in your life, and that's it. The day I realize you're a negative person, I'm out the door, because I literally cannot deal with negativity. It drains the life out of you. It drains the life out of the room. It's literally the biggest enemy of success if you're constantly thinking about everything that could go wrong and not the things that could go right. So just try and surround yourself with like-minded individuals that can help, push the new mindset that you're trying to achieve as well, and help you get to where you need to get to in life. Another thing that you can do to change your mindset from scarcity to abundance is to just adopt the mindset of gratitude. Just be grateful for every single thing, right? Even when things are not going right, be grateful for that, because in that is a lesson. And now you're never going to make that same mistake that has brought you into that situation. You're not going to make that again. That in itself is a lesson to be learned. So be grateful for every situation, because as Oprah Winfrey said, if you look at what you have in life, you will always have more. And if you look at the things that you don't have in life, you will never have enough. So if we constantly focus on the things that we don't have, instead of being grateful for the things you have, you're complaining, you're ungrateful, you're just like sad about the things that you don't have. Hey, look at this person. They have a big house, they have a big car, and I don't. They're married with kids, and I don't. I'm not even married. I don't have kids, and they've got this nice career. Who cares about what the next person has? You focus on the things that you have, because there's definitely something that you have that they don't have. We're all unique in that way. No matter how successful or how, like far someone has progressed in life, there's always going to be something that you have that they don't have. that they may even want what you have, and you're here being ungrateful for the things that you are blessed with, and because you're constantly comparing yourself to other people and what they have. So just focus on the things that you have, be grateful for it, and watch the universe and God open more doors for you and bring more blessings in your life. So another important thing that you need for success is to embrace learning, right? You have to constantly think, how can I learn this? How can I learn this? Because it doesn't matter, even if you're a doctor with 20 years experience, how medicine was practiced 20 years ago isn't how it's being practiced now. So you have to constantly be in the mode of learning, right? Because guess what? That's how you develop your adaptability skills in whatever you do, whether it's business, your career, your family. Like the way that families were set 20 years ago, that's not how families are set now. The way that kids were raised 20 years ago, that's not how kids are raised. So you have to constantly be willing and open-minded to learning, right? We all know the best investment you can make is the one you make in yourself. So don't be afraid to go out there, invest in yourself, learn as much as you can. You don't necessarily need to just learn the skills that you need to succeed in your job and business. You can just learn other skills, like life skills, social skills, just different skills that are important for you as a human being to succeed in everything that you do. Like, if whether it comes to like your relationships, learn new skills. Like it could be communication skills, it could be like different types of love languages, it could be whatever it is really that you find yourself lacking in. So one important thing about embracing learning is that you actually need to be able to identify the areas where you're lacking in knowledge. Because if you don't agree or believe that you don't know something, then you're never going to want to go and learn about that. And a lot of people can be a little bit ignorant to the fact that they don't even know that they don't know certain things. They think they know it all. Nobody knows it all. No matter how many years experience you have in anything, I don't care. Even if you've been doing that from the day you were born and you're 105 years old right now, I don't care. You still don't know everything about that field, right? So you need to constantly be open to learning, develop your skills, develop yourself, both professionally and personally. Because the more we learn, the more we can develop better versions of ourselves, and we can offer more to the people that we care about and the people that we work with. So the final mindset shift that I believe is important for success is to develop a growth mindset. We always have to try and cultivate a mindset of growth, like no matter what challenge or what situation we find ourselves in. The truth is, in life, we're always going to be faced by one traumatic event or the other, right? No matter what it is, you can either choose to be held back or held down by that trauma, or you can choose to use the anger, the fire, just all the negative emotions that you feel from that trauma. You can choose to use that as a fuel to drive your passion to achieve the things that you want to achieve in life. We've all been through a lot of traumatic situations, right? But one of the ones that actually really stood out for me was when I lost my dad. I was very young, 21. My dad was the main breadwinner in the house. We lost him so suddenly, like he was here today and the next day he wasn't. And it was such a difficult time for myself and my family. There's 6 of us and it was just my mom. And I just didn't understand how my mom was going to cope with 6 kids, just on her own. And for me personally, I was so depressed for like the first 2 or 3 weeks. And then one day I woke up and I said, I'm not crying anymore. I've cried enough about this. It's time for me to get up and go and figure out what to do with my life so that I can help my mom out, right? And I feel like that was where my business mindset really sort of came up. As soon as I lost my dad, I was thinking, right, what else can I do to help my mom? I was working full time, I was studying full time, and I was trying so many different businesses. Like I was doing catering, I was doing anything that I could to make money just to support my mom and, my siblings, because I am the second of the 6 kids. So I'm one of the oldest. And my older sister at the time as well, she was in medical school. So she wasn't even working or anything. So I basically was the only one that could help my mom in terms of like financially. And that was what I did. So instead of just sitting down and being depressed about losing my dad, losing the breadwinner, losing the only person that I would ever go to ask for money or any sort of financial help, I basically had to have a word with myself and say, right, how am I going to make ends meet and be able to support my mom and still achieve the goals that I want to achieve in life? And that was what I did. And from there, I just started trying every single business until I eventually came across property investment, and the rest is history. Yeah, so instead of sitting down and having these traumatic events weigh us down, hold us back, and just stop us from achieving our goals in life, we have to be thinking about, how can we grow from this? How can we get to the next level from this? So like a lot of people, when you face traumatic experiences, a lot of people have something we call PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. And obviously that is like a serious medical condition which you need to get help for if you have. However, like when it comes to things like PTSD, you're constantly in a battle with your mind. Or the worst thing for anyone to be is a prisoner of their own mind. You literally have ideas, you have things you want to do, but you physically can't do it and you can't explain why. And that's because your mind is not in the right place. Instead of being held down, being like traumatized and depressed and feeling anxious about a traumatic event that has happened to you, you have to be thinking post-traumatic stress growth. So how can I grow from this instead of being held back from it? Okay. And when you think of how you can grow, channel that energy, channel all those feelings, all those negative thoughts, channel all of that, and find a way to rise above that trauma like an eagle. You always want to ask yourself, especially when you've been through a traumatic situation, or you're in a challenge that's holding you down, or like stopping you from achieving your dreams, or achieving success in the things that you want to achieve. You always want to ask yourself, how can I embrace this pain, this challenge, this trauma? How can I embrace it as a stepping stone to get to where I need to be, to take me to the next level in life? And this is the sort of mindset you need to be adopting this year to be able to achieve anything that you want to achieve. I hope you obviously reflect back on some of the things that we've discussed today, and make sure you try and start thinking of how you can make some mindset shifts, especially if you're not happy with where you're at right now with life, whether it's your finances, your relationships, your mental health, whatever it is really that you're worried about your life. Just make sure you start to identify what sort of mindset shifts you need to apply to help you get out of that situation. So that brings us to the end of today's episode. I hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know what mindset shifts you will be applying this year in the comments as well. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.